talked to me yesterday. No, they said there's a lot of huge wind was blowing and blew all the skies away, never came back after the Gopeng area. Someone told me that yesterday in this group. And they were all staying awake for fear the flood, because rain was going on and on. And all this blew up. That's why we bless the nature beings of the mountains, we bless the nature beings of the sky, the clouds and the wind. They are the ones who have to do the work. The skies and all will have to cross the mountain and go the other side. In Kerala is one country, there's a mountain right there, the water cannot go across the mountain. Only when you go across the mountain, you go to Karnataka and you go to Andhra Pradesh. It's stuck there, the mountain. You get heavy rain from the, which bay? The Arabian Sea. There must not be history also, like the geography. And the Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean is below that. It's the Bay of Bengal. The Arabian Sea, then Indian Ocean. The water will come from there, the winds will blow, the wind all, you see that some of the, if you understand the way the wind is blowing, it's not like constricted, so the wind will go straight inside to the one place. You get lots of rain, like Bangladesh and the delta of the Ganga river. So we have to pray. So there was a big flood, it was raining in Kerala. We went there. I flew all the way, we had some of the workshop, we went down there and we blessed, and then the sun came up, rain stopped on that day. So you must understand, nature beings are very important. Indian flower will put all the yaga and burn and things like that, put smoke, more smoke inside. Nature beings, my friend, understand. Oh, the wind, everything. You know, people in Mexico will call me. In fact, I never knew the sin was so bad. But if I told us 4 or 5 days ago, we will put all this something and something will happen, become lighter. The ocean, the tide, the moon, Mother Earth, they're all in a magnetic field. The whole thing works on a magnetic field. Understand? Of course, the volcano is from under Mother Earth. So a lot of things will happen, okay? So now, so we want to go around the world to heal and teach the poorest of the poor. That's what being is all about. Of course, today we are selling you booklets and all, but a lot of things are free. The wants are free. The affirmations are free. If you want to buy the booklet, you buy. If you want to buy, it's fine. It's already having internet download. Next. Do's and don'ts, they're not doing it right now. They have no time now. No touch, no therapy, simple. Everybody can learn. A 5-year-old child can learn. Vision, we want every family to be happy, healthy, healing one. Vision is ultimately we want every woman in the healing one. But they are the one more responsible. They take care of the family. Because the husband will come, he works very hard, he comes back home, he does nothing. In Mexico, better. They come back home drunk on Friday. Seriously, they come back home drunk. Not all men. Because it's a culture of drinking. When they drink, they come back home because the wife will you will shout, lie, and go to sleep. Like that. So there are some cultures who are like that. So a lot of heavy alcohol in many countries have traveled around. You know, they start on a Friday evening. They sit down and drink and drink and drink. And I always ask the Punjabi people now, why Guru Nanak said don't stop drinking? He did, but don't follow.
Nobody disagrees.
Like the Muslims, strict rule, no drinking, yes or no? Yes. Can you imagine the Muslims drinking in our country, the pubs in every corner of the station?
But they are drinking.
Hey, keep quiet lah. Don't say such thing. There are always a few fools who flood the Lord. That's what they are. They are. What do you mean? My neighbor doesn't drink. My neighbor doesn't drink. Don't say such words, please understand. Yeah, 2, 3 people will break the law. Doesn't mean that all Malays are drinking. No, come on. Those will go to the pub, drink. But they drink with guilty consciousness, you know. They have guilty consciousness, you understand? They don't simply happy drink. Not the Punjabi, put 10 bottle, 20 bottle and drink and show everybody. And you want to put all the bottles, show, hey, Manja, we look how much you drink. Yes or not? Yes. And women are crying, say, what love this was also. Some girls are going to vomit and come and drink again. You know that, madam? Yes or not? Yes. They vomit because they don't show how you can keep on drinking and drinking. So it's very sad. Very sad. Okay? So every woman is healing one, take the one and heal husband sex supply with disturbing everything. Okay. Animal is pain free. We want every plant to be pain free. You know what's the best part? After more than 2 years, the first official workshop with people around you.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Last class, the class was in a BAC, you know, BAC.
Oh yeah.
What emotional phenomenon class then?
Yeah.
Advanced sensing something. Huh? We had it there. And after that, they gave us the space. Even when COVID was very strong that time. They set us the whole day, they gave us the place. One day before we locked down, we had a class. And then we started with life. 2 years of life, you know. It's the first one we had the class up there. Thank you. So type of pain, physical, emotional, and mental and spiritual pain. Huh? You want to review this? What stopped the body from healing? You always see this become. Let's go to the class. You and your family can become healthier, stay healthy, and stay safe. PVH can help you guide and heal yourself and heal anybody from. We thank everyone that worked out today. Treat me like a brother, like a friend, and someone who may be able to help you. We may be able to help you. But you must do some work to make it help. Don't come and chuck everything to us and say, heal. No? Like how we have got doctors now. Doctor, give me. Whatever you give, you just come and eat blindly and go back home. Whether it works or not, you do not know. And then go back again after 2 weeks. They keep on going. That's what people are going for many, many years and not getting the right treatment at all. You know? Right. Next. What was that? Let's see how big Mother Earth is. The best part, inside, outer, and beyond us. Beyond Mother Earth. What's that? Beyond Mother Earth is the best part. Something works there. It's all in harmony. The universe is harmony. Give a clap for the guy who did it. And we want to share with the world of God. Before we basically clap to YouTube and Facebook for sharing all of this into everybody. Thank you, thank you. So now, what are nature things? What are they? Because we can't see them. People always say, I don't believe what I don't see with my eyes. Your eyes are too small in the world to see many, many things. With the help of telescope, we see a lot of things. We see a microscope, we see something inside. So the eyes is not necessary to see all of these things. It's the whole trouble, people. I don't see, I don't believe. I must see to believe. Then wait for next lifetime. You might be born as a telescope. You may be born as a microscope. That's the life, madam. It's a small put a microscope. Oh, yes, I wasted one bird coming to be a microscope today. So like that. What are nature beings? Just because you cannot see them doesn't mean they don't exist. That. So Mother Nature with divine intervention. It's Mother Nature with divine intervention. Mother Nature has got another big controller who controls everything that happens beyond our imagination. How the fire burns under Mother Earth. The sun you can see. But can you see the Mother Earth? Yes, you can see them. Lava will flow down and will burst. All this coming because of Mother, something is working. Who's putting the fire and keep on burning 24 hours a day, but non-stop? What are they? What chemical? Can we bring samples? Can we go down and make a hole and bring sample and check and see? They say the sun is helium and hydrogen, fishing and all kind of stuff, right? Did you bring a sample to see? So you just imagine and we just predict this could be the reason. But it was something that beyond your imagination. How the whole thing works. That's a sad part. But what to do? We just have to listen people. And what the Christians say. God says, let there be light, and there was light. My God. You have to find some way to tell everybody this is how the world was created as a whole. And one was a Big Bang theory. One bang, the whole universe was created. So funny people, isn't it? The Big Bang theory, it's not a Big Bang theory. There's one big bang, the whole universe was created. This is very sad, you know. Just because you are a bit smart and you make law and everybody follow, you could be a religious leader. You know, many years back, you know, the Christians were trying to say the sun was going around Mother Earth. And then you got another group who proved them wrong. And what do you call these people? The Roman Catholic says that the earth was the center and the sun was going around the earth. Who proved it wrong? The Protestants. They always protest whatever the Roman Catholic do. You protest, you follow something, you know. You know who found out that? Sir Isaac Newton. He proved that the sun is the center and we are going around. Of course, the other guys found all the planets, like whatever Copernicus, all they found all the planets. But this is the guy who found out and proven theoretically that Mother Earth is going around the sun. Then the Romans, they kept it. So lots and lots of rules were down there. They were the most powerful people. They can say whatever they want and get away. Nobody just listen. Indians were too busy doing this. Round. Okay, so look at the Mother Earth. And Mother Earth is alive. It has to do so many things. Provide for everybody. Provide the minerals, the vitamins, and provide the air to breathe. And pour the water. Why is the water not falling down? If I take a cup and I pour down, water pour down. Why all? Are you all? But how Mother Earth is holding it together upside down. Have you ever thought about it? How much Mother Earth has to do? It's not only keeping the water, it's keeping the air. The air will not escape from this atmosphere and go out. They're holding the clouds inside. How? The magnet. How? The leaf is falling down. Yes, something is there. And she has to create all of it 24 hours a day and non-stop. That's our time, 24 hour time. And there's another time for her own time. She's got to keep all of it. The water is upside down. Air is upside down. It's all the thing will lose to the atmosphere. She's holding it and keeping it there. The plane cannot fly. You know how much you take the plane to fly up straight, the rocket? And they use hydrogen and oxygen liquid them to burn, to push. Then boom. Until the end. At one point, it's all free floating. Understand? So how much the work she has to do to keep all this together. Well, that must appreciate mother every day. So what she's providing us, the food and not only you, each and every plant and each and every animal, each and every insects that are out there today. Right. Next, mother. She has to do so many work. She does work with all the nature beings around them. And man is the enemy for them. Just like how you are alive, mother is also alive. In her own way. Alive doesn't mean eating and shitting and sleeping and talking and that's all. Doesn't mean that. Everything is alive. The atom is alive. You know, you take yourself, you burn yourself. What remains? You don't put a coffee, no coffee. Just put fire and burn. How much you have? This much only. Carbon. Hydrogen goes up, water goes up. And carbon is the minerals. That's all remains of you. That's the one you go through the sea. That's all you have. You know, simple thing. That's all you are made of, eventually, Mother is alive. Like that. So we have to hold her and tell her thank you whenever we can. And many of you will go to Guru and say, my Guru must pray. Everybody must see Guru before I leave the house. Come back, must see him first. And you don't even do anything beyond that. The fellow won't teach you anything also. Because then his popularity will go down. You can either keep her happy or make her sad. That's all. It's all up to you. You become a light being in this short time. She's got eyes looking at everything around her. What can I do? She doesn't want a cyclone to come and kill everything. No, she'd rather kill you than kill all the animals, Isn't better? You die. I want the animals to live. I want the trees to live. They are the one providing everything, the eco-structure and all. We are destroying it. So 100,000 people die, she's very happy, Lesser work for me to do. Yes or no? Lesser water to drink, lesser rain, lesser contamination, pollution, no alcohol, no cigarette smoking. Can you imagine how she'll be happy? Less work to live 100,000. But animals, they follow rule, brother. They don't do whatever they like. They just follow rule. They will multiply accordingly. That's all. And they'll all be fine. Okay. So mother eventually is looking at each and every one that's going around. And finally, when she's not happy, she starts to cry. Why people are doing this to me? Yesterday, you saw how much the fireworks was born. The sound it makes, the vibration that travels around can affect all the plants. When as a small boy, my mother would say, don't pluck the fruit or pluck the leaf when the tree, she's sleeping. You all have you all done it before? Yes. People will do but you don't follow. They say, don't pluck the leaf, so they are sleeping. That's what we have been taught. We have to follow and we must teach our children. It's time to sleep. And you put a big noise and bam, boom, bam, boom, bam, boom on. It's very sad. You see, when a small thing bursts, the air goes to a vibration and it goes beyond. The noise can be heard maybe 1 kilometer away. It's a vibration that travels and it affects all the nature and all the air that's around you. We call it a big explosion, like a Hiroshima bomb. How many 1,000 kilometers are affected because of that? It's very sad. And man, you know where they test all these atomic bombs? Where? Where they test? Under the sea. How many animals will die? How many dolphins cannot take it? How many whales cannot take the sound? They all die. So it's a manner, very harmful people, very harmful people, very harmful. They have done more than 1,000 nuke bomb and atomic bomb in the ocean. So imagine how much will be contaminated heat that goes into the ocean and all. So Mother Nature cannot take it. So she cries, you cry again, cry. How can we make her sad? Nature being. Can you see that? No. You can't see if you're a clairvoyant. The some people are gifted to see that. Some when they show in the skies, like a cloud. Wow, take picture and show. Wow, she showed me the cloud. She never showed it, she's enjoying herself. She was so happy to be there. Ego. Oh, see, Mother Nature showed me this one. I took picture, selfie and sent everybody. Yes or no? She just wanted to show. She's enjoying herself. All the beings are enjoying. And so happen you'll be there at that time, that's all. Just because you're not there doesn't mean she's not there. She's there. In the form of clouds and rain and everything else. And there's so beautiful pictures of something like a man, like a man picture. They're having fun on their own way. You're just so part of that, that's all. Okay? Like that. You got a clay one. Clay one, somebody who can see something beyond your third eye. Your third eye must be activated. Some of them are born like that. Some of them become in between. You can see things that you cannot see. You can see souls and everything else. Okay? Like that. Now some of you can, some of you cannot. But they will show you to. Somebody take a picture in a small tree that there's little thing that are down there. And you say, oh wow. And you don't see it, take a picture and oh wow, I see the picture. You know, it is for me. Yeah. Sometimes they will show themselves to you. Like that. May not be directly, maybe in the form of nature's effect of Mother Earth structure. Like though you go to the seaside, during sunset, the clouds, you do something like that. No, like this is the thing that you see. Okay? Yeah. Now, what are they made of? They are energy infused with divine energy. Just like you. Your aura, your divine called your antakarna, you have another aura around you. That aura cannot be broken up. Your body will go. Like that, they are there with infused with divine energy. Okay, next. They receive the blueprint from the divine energy transfer. They receive the blueprint. The blueprint they will go and give the birds, give the bees, give the plants, where to find food. Elephant will walk 100,000 kilometers to find water. They walk. You know, sometimes they cross the Damami desert. Elephants will cross. Malaysian elephants are very lucky, water everywhere. How you stop them from coming to your house? You put electric fence. But they are smart. They break a tree and walk inside. Who teach them all of these things? Nature teaches. See this, my friend. They also got people. You are living in their land. Now you come there, you make a fence. It's my land. You cannot come inside. We can all coexist together and be one with life, with all animals around it. But you must understand. Give them the space. They need the space. You need one house, but their house is 1 acre, 2 acre land. They eat here, they go to side, eat there, they go to side, eat there, and you want to come, when you have a farm, you put all that there, you have all this wild boar coming eating your food. If you take the land, where will they go? All palm oil mill. What do you do now? How they have to find the food? They have to come to your house and eat whatever you can. They also have to survive. Like that. Now remember, they are agents, instruments of the divine to take care of all the beings that have been given the duty to do so. Divine has given them the divine, create them with that energy, and they are there doing whatever they need to do. Protect themselves, hide themselves, They emit energy to all of these living beings. It's a blueprint. Let's say you want to build a house. What do you need to build a house? In the drawing. Yes or no? But people those days never had drawings. They didn't even have pencil. But how to build all of these big structures in many places? They have drawings. But today, there's ruler, measure, and carving like Borobudur. 1,700 years ago it was built. Where got drawings on? Maybe no pen also. So, but they were very intelligible. The nature beings will come and take over them. They will go in the form of a trance and they start doing the work. There are 504 Buddha structures. Not one man did that. How they did. 4 templars will be carving and everything is so exact. 100 over things. So something they go into some kind of a trance level where the spiritual guides and helpers will come, go inside them and they'll work through them. Like that the animals and all will have their own blueprint that you cannot see. How the beast can make a hexagon so beautifully. They cannot see how can they make this beautiful thing. And the best part, they are going down there, they can make a net. How they must start the foundation to hold the weight. For man, you must do a big calculation, put here, put there, put screw, this, that. To hang a frame with a screw, madam. Drill a hole, put a screw on. You put a gum, will fall on 2 days later. You must buy the correct gum. 5 kilo, 2 kilo, 1 kilo. Yes or no? The gum. After 10 years, the gum will fall down. So these are the things that man has to tell you. 5 kilo, 2 kilo, 1 kilo, half kilo. Yes or no, madam? And they put a glue. Yes or no? So all of these things man has to learn. But they are doing this so well and so wonderfully. Like that. Next, what are they doing? The energy they can transmit, they will have to work in the organism. Whatever they receive from them, they will transmit to the organism. It can be a worm, can be a bacteria, can be a virus. The virus is not alive. It doesn't need oxygen. It is very specific. It only one food only. Platelets, or the respiratory system, or the liver, or the bones, or the white blood cell. They're so specific. How they become so specific? Who tells them what to do? When they get angry with man, they will do all of these things. Let's teach the man a lesson. 1 year I shut you down. No planes flying, no cars on the road. Animals walking on the road now. Yes or not, brother? Yes. This is what happens. Mother Nature is very powerful. How she got rid of all the dinosaurs. They're eating everything. The T-Rex was eating all animals. Hey, no more. No more dinosaurs. Close this place up. Put them underground. Yes or no? So how mother must have been millions of years ago. I always ask this question. Tell me a religious text that talk about dinosaurs. No one. Who found them? The American anthropologists. They may go, hey, what is this, huh? They they found the whole thing. You go to Himalaya, you can find the ocean. The seashells of the ocean and then Himalaya. What were there before that? How did we go there? You know Himalayan salt was part of the ocean those days. Ocean will be pink in color. Pink color salt, but black color salt also. Yes. So they must have been part of the ocean one day. So today they've gone there. So we must understand that mother has got long history before we will understand about ourselves. Like that. So now, they make changes to the DNA of the genes. They make the changes to the DNA of the animal. And man also they do, because man has become smarter and smarter. They learn more and more things. That's all. Like that. Promote evolution for the survival of whatever it is. You know the biawa, the biawa? The biawa. What does the biawa eat? It's called a lizard, big lizard called monkey. What does it eat? Whatever chicken, whatever fish, whatever it swim underwater. You know the gala, because biawa, you know what it eats? It eats go off into the ocean, it eats the moss, the planktons. There's no more food on top there. So they evolve to eat the plankton. They go down, they eat, they come back and throw the salt water away. Yes. All this we must know. How all this is happening. Who teaches them? So some evolution will go down there and make this happen because it's survival. The nature will show them. Now you got food down there. I'll evolve you to go down there. So they evolve over the many years. And there's no man in any one of this island. They're perfectly fine. You know, if you go to Philippines, you go to New Zealand, birds don't fly. Why they don't fly, madam? No need to fly. No dogs, no cats, no lion, no panther. There's the kiwi bird just walking around, that's all. Man went inside. What did man bring? Dog and cats. Half the population gone. Yes, all gone. Kangaroo, running and jumping, hopping. Nothing to worry about, but no tiger there. What? You look at all the animals in Africa, how they have to run to survive. Have you ever seen pictures? The cheetah will be running the floor, run for their life. Yes or not? Survival. So like that, Mother Earth has been made with many different types of land. So because man's intervention was not there, African animals are most powerful. The orang asli in Malaysia is powerful, but the orang asli in Africa much more powerful, madam. Got rhinoceros, got cheetah, got lion. Have to fight them now, otherwise they die. Yes or not? You know who are the easiest? The orang asli, the easy, happy, go lucky. You know where they're from? Borneo. No tiger. Only python and katubandi. That's all. Seriously, madam. Just relax. Elephants are very little. Man must have brought elephant there. That's all. So they are much more easier compared to Amazonians. Okay? Now look here. So, promote evolution for the survival. Next, they work with other nature beings to make things work in harmony. The plant has got nature beings. The durian trees, the rambutan, they all have their own nature beings. How to propagate, how to go on, where to grow, where's the best place to grow, all of that they know. Next, they follow a divine plan. They follow a divine plan. Just like how we follow the divine plan, they also follow a divine plan. Okay? Where are they? In every part of Mother Earth's creation. From the deep ocean to deep under the ground, center of Mother Earth, right up to the islands, right up to the clouds. They're everywhere. Next. It's on all living and non-living things. That's why crystals can grow. The nature of the crystals. They grow the crystals by themselves automatically. You know? So what is happening is a non in both living and non-living things. Each and every part of Mother Earth. Okay guys, understand? Any question now? Something very new, huh? Good. Where are they again? In the ocean. They are in the deep ocean. Things can live there. Most of them are blind. There's one will have a light on its own. Have you seen that before? I think a light, and they attract and they eat that food. You see how smart they evolved themselves to survive. Understand? So you look at the deep ocean, so many deep oceans. Okay? Next, you also have the land. Every part of the land. Mountains. We call mountain gods. We call them mountain god. Malachami. Indian fellow know Malachami. And one fellow go up there and put one temple down there, all forget Malachami, become this god mountain. Very sad, very, very sad. Sky and beyond, the skies and beyond, the moon, our solar system and beyond, something makes them all work in a very specific manner. They follow a divine law, a universal law that works together. Rotating, exactly, tilting and all. They have their own way of doing things. Okay? Beyond, much beyond our imagine. Much beyond our imagination. We cannot imagine all of this. Hopefully today we have got a very nice weather. We'll go down tonight and maybe we can see the stars, if they allow the stars. Because the mountains are difficult to watch, a lot of mist. Okay? They are in the plant kingdom, they are the insect kingdom, they are the single cell plant, the algae and the hydra and all the plankton, they're there in each and every one of them. Bacteria. Now this is the life form. And finally our good friend the virus. He's torturing each and every family. The fear they put into you of dying. And they've killed so many people. Hopefully one day it's all going to stop. Okay? It won't stop. You keep on coming. We will understand them and live with them together. Don't make them as enemies and want to kill them and remove them. It's not fair. Right. They are in the molecules that hold them together. You can say frequency, vibration, the whole problem the scientists world do not want to accept the fact it's all something else beyond our imagination. They don't even accept the fact of a soul in each and every one of you. Who has been a psychiatrist? They talk about everything, mind, but not the soul of that person. Understand? So it's very important to understand. And up to the atomic level. So something is moving. Even this chair, you can say it's dead. But something is moving there. The atoms are there. The electron, the neutron, and the proton. It can be iron atom here. Can be potassium atom, calcium atom down here. And it's an atom with a lot of molecules and atoms inside. H2O, 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom become a water. It's moving, it's alive. Now you put heat, what will happen? You put heat to the water, what happens? You put heat, you put energy, it evaporates, it becomes steam. You remove the energy with the refrigerator, what it becomes? Ice. It becomes ice. So water has gone in different form. You know the power station? All the electricity is coming to your house right now. You know what the basic thing for making power? Water. How much air you put in a tire? How many PSI? 31, 32, 30 lah. Okay? You put, right? You put that tire. You drive. You know what's the pressure in the power plant? 2000 PSI. How many PSI? 2000 PSI is the power plant's energy. And that will go now in big strong pipes, will go, and the temperature is 540 degrees C. What the material man can make in an economical fashion. It goes now and then it turns a steam turbine. And that rotates an electrical motor, big huge motor. And that's the power that comes to your house. If any one pipe breaks, you've got no electricity. You must go repair the pipe. Each and every pipe is holding 2000 PSI. It's not a joke, huh? That's how it's water that comes to you. And you get the seawater to cool it down again and put the water back again. So seawater, always the power plant is beside the sea plant. Near the ocean. Sometimes some country got no ocean, they've got a big tower that cools the steam down back to water, and because they cannot have so many water will be recycled inside. So remember, your tire is 30 PSI, power plant is 2000 PSI. Your tire will burst. Your tire will burst. So imagine how the water, the molecule can change and give Man. So, who gave the idea for man to make this kind of stuff? To survive? Nature beings. That we must understand. So man thinks is very smart. No, it's all my own idea. I am the inventor. I am the founder. Einstein, he gets intuition from the inner world. Understand? He's the chosen one. But you stop it there. Because we used to kill people. Not to harness energy. You understand? Huh? Like that. Okay. They take care of the largest of the living things and the smallest of the living things. Everyone. Even at the atomic level. It's hard to understand. But anyway, I was given this, I'm telling you. Okay? They take care of all that they need to survive. Show them the way to survive. They show the way to survive, and all that survive, they'll give you whatever you want. That's why you mutate. You have a mutation of them over the year, the genes will change and something good will happen. Okay? Right. They take care of how to find food and water for the animal kingdom, where to survive, where to live. Next, show them the migration path for many, many animals. The birds will fly, animals will walk, fish will swim from one side to the other side. Because the cold temperature, they cannot survive. In fact, some of the pond, there will be ice. They were skating on the ice. There are fish living under there. They're surviving. But man is too smart. They make a small one and start keep fishing that fellow. Isn't it sad? They want to survive the high temperature, the big lake. Ice is so strong. You know, they make a small hole and they catch fish. Isn't it very sad? And now they got also a portable house, you know, they sit in the house. They put on there and catch fish. One fella putting one catching fish. It's very sad. It's very sad. It's very, very sad. Okay. They take care and show the danger of the climate changes. Animals know this before man. Something's going to change. The nature will come and go, move, move. Some of the cows will make noise, this, that, They something is going to go wrong. 2 days or they know the cow will make noise. They get information from nature before even that. But the cows in the house cannot run away. In nature they run away, you tie the floor already, right? you cannot run away. Dogs also cannot run away. So the real nature animals, they will move. They'll move somewhere else to be safe. They'll come and tell them. Show them the way, the migration path. Who teaches this creature to do this? In order to survive on Mother Earth. You also survive. You make your own house. Today you make building 10 stories, 20 stories high. Who teach you? Yes, exactly. You may think that, oh, I am the first one who built this mega structure. You know, science, energy, something telling you this is the foundation of the whole thing. Designed in the plant kingdom. Look at how the sun comes inside and everything use that. The trees are growing higher and higher. They got space. They don't come. They got space. How much they go? All this happen. Next, look at how the leaves are being formed. You look at it. There's a pattern. There's a formula down there. What's the circle? What is the formula used to make a circle? Huh? No, you want to draw. No, you want to draw a circle with a compass. Big, small. There's a formula for that. What is that? Pi. What is pi? Huh? What is pi, sir? Pythagoras. Who is the man who found that formula? Pythagoras. 3.142, long number. And you make a circle. And from there you calculate. So who gave Pythagoras the formula? The circles have been there over before Pythagoras. It's been there long time ago. Yes or no? He found the formula 3.142 got long number. Huh? You put a formula, it's a big number. Who found that? It's not a one number, 1 or 2. 3.142. That's a natural number that works. Now they got next number in the plant. They make a little like that. They go like a circle like that. Like a circle. It's another formula. It's there before man found it. And man is so proud. I put my name, Pythagoras theory. Pythagoras theory. You make a triangle, this plus this, what square, you get this. It's been there. We found and we make it easy for people to follow and put our name there. Yes or no? Exactly. Like that, huh? So imagine. So this is how it looks like. And everything has to work. Look at this fellow. You go, there's a formula for all of these things now. And look at his flower, rose flower. The formula. It makes it like us find this stuff from the bottom and goes like that, even a share and all. So something is making all this happen day and night. The formula that comes. So who would transmit this formula to these things? That's the most important part. Look at this fellow. Why they do it? They want to get the sunlight. They can't be on. If the papaya leaves, they one here, go like that, So that no. So they want to get sunlight and fall down and that follow. So they want to harness that. Who make the formula, madam? Something out there. Infuse this energy inside and they follow the law right to the seed level. Look at sunflower. The pattern. We don't look at those things. We don't appreciate. But look inside deep. Very well. Even the corn is properly arranged properly. All is arranged properly. To grow, even a jackfruit, they have to grow in such a nice size. All that. Even apple. Apple is like that. A tomato is like that. Energy flowing around the tomato, energy flowing around whatever it is. It's a nice energy flowing to make the shape of a beautiful shape. Look at, see how the formula moves. Everything is moving like that. And it's in a form. Like that. Look at this flower. Just like a shell. Just like a shell. Look at this. It's a flower, Look at this flower. You know what it is, flower? Millipede. What's the difference? Some formula is there, they're all following. Who put a formula to that? It's another big class. It's another class that will have very soon on all of these things. More about formulas and things like that, how it's all happens. Huh? Yeah. See? So beautiful, huh? But we get scared when they're walking around, they kill that fellow. Kill that fellow. Kill that fellow. Come into the house.
Long one.
Long one. How long? Hey, not this long. Hey, how long? This long, then after this long, and sometimes you go to Gopeng, this long, millipede, Snakes don't come this long. Can be this long, yes, but not this long. This long. Big full of, thick full of, You can only find them in cold places. Yeah, last night.
Last night, yeah.
I said, get something correct. They cannot live in a cold, they must have a lot of moisture. They cannot live outside. How's all of these people? You see how? And they got their own defense. It's a defense system. They got some kind of chemical that you sometimes when you put the nose on it rubs you, it smells so terrible. They got defense system for themselves to protect themselves from eaten by. See, this one no one eats them, The rats don't eat them. They have their own protection system. Like that. Look at the fern leaf. This you can see around when you walk up place. The fern, how they turn themselves out like that. How they open up. Look at this fellow. This one you must have seen in your house. The aloe vera family, like cactus family. Look at how they go round and round and round. Each one has got its own formula. One like that, one like that. They want to harness the temperature of the sun's energy as much as they can. And when the rain comes, the rain will fall in one place and go inside. Also more air. Oxygen can flow inside easily. They cannot crowd themselves inside. They cannot crowd themselves. Look at themselves. It's something living inside. It's not living all the way, it's only living in the outside part, It's not all the way, just living in the outside part. It's not the whole thing inside, See how the flower is? Somebody tells them to do this. Someone gives them the instruction. And every time is different. Okay? Finally, look at this fellow. How he survives. By making a beautiful net. And the formula for all of these things, the distance and all, Who teaches this fellow? How? Something out there, make the blueprint. They make the blueprint and they just follow. The best part was, I remember going to a place called Gunung Jerai. The tree was this distance. And the butterfly making a net. Huge fellow. How they make the first starting point? You know how they do? They dangle. When the wind blows, tuck, get caught. I just need to make one line and then make the rest. Huge nest. I was so amazed. You must go and watch all in jungle. How they can make like these big trees, 2 trees, they can make a big net. They can even catch a bird. Small bird, not mine now. It's even small bird. Seriously, you catch the bird. There's some crabs who climb the coconut tree to catch the birds, in some island, Coconut Island, I think. Yes, you must see, amazed to see how they survive. How nature will give them the way to survive. How the birds make the nest so that nothing will come to them. Watch and see today. Okay, look at his nest. See how powerful. You must make the structure, and in between they must make round. Where they think. How do they think of all of these things? Who teaches them? Look at this fellow, even better, smarter someone. Make a few rows. How? This is the guy. See how perfect each and every hexagon has. 6-sided hexagon. You don't appreciate, you must appreciate them. The small fellows, they just have a mouth, a hand, they go, no, they cannot even do something then. How can they make this? Then in about 2 months they die. 3 months they die. Then another colony must come inside. And who will teach them? It goes on and on for years and years. Hundreds of thousands of years before they were doing this. How they get the material, how they get the wax, how to make the wax, where they get the wax. Indian law now, all selling the bee wax law, this law, that law. You know, so sad. It's their home. Men are very, very harmful people. Very, very. They don't take what they want, they take more than what they want. They kill the whole colony, man. They go jungle, they kill it. They don't say, okay, I take 20%, anyway, I give it to you. They don't do that. They kill all the colonies. Now, where are they going to start all over again? And slowly all this is going to extinct. See how? They must put the honey inside, keep it there for storage. You know, have you ever seen a honey from a tree? Have you ever seen? Yesterday some people were there, I showed them a honey of a banana tree. You know, banana tree honey, you know that, no? And the flower. One pot. It's water with sugar, glucose. Now they will take that and put down there and hydrate it. They must hydrate it. And that's how they are. So they keep a lot, put a little bit, then finally they keep a lot. And it's not easy to make one drop of honey, you know. And then they will evaporate it by nature. And that's when the honey becomes so thick, you cannot even pour down easily. Understand? So a lot of work to be done is done. Watch.
It's actually a mathematical question.
Mathematical question.
The problem is, how do I divide up a volume into shapes of equal size using a minimum amount of stuff? Now, why does that matter to a bee? Because that stuff is wax, and wax is extremely valuable to the bees. So, what shape should it be? Should it be squares, or should it be triangles? You can see it can't be circles, because circles, when you pack them together, leave gaps, so they're not very efficient. Or could it be that hexagons are the most efficient? Well, that is actually a simple sounding question with a very complicated answer. It's one of the oldest questions in mathematics. It's got a name actually, called the honeycomb conjecture. Mathematicians have worked on it for thousands and thousands of years, and it's only recently that the honeycomb conjecture was proved. Here's one of the proofs. Huge paper. Pages and pages of complex mathematics. And it turns out that the hexagon is the most efficient shape. The bees knew what human mathematicians didn't know for thousands of years. Actually, I'm using know in quite a loose sense there. There's still a great deal of debate among biologists as to how the bees actually do it. Do they build hexagons from scratch using some kind of instinctive behaviour? Or do they in fact build a simpler shape, perhaps circles, and then because the wax heats up, it can deform, and the laws of physics themselves change circles into hexagons? That's still not agreed upon. But what is agreed upon by the mathematicians and the bees is hexagon is the most efficient shape. That just shows you, it's a beautiful thing. Mathematics is the universal language. And when you look at a perfect honeycomb, you see a shadow of that language of mathematics made real by bees.
You think the bee bothers? Nice. You think the bee bothers what you know? And you want to find out, I've been doing this myself. You know, I keep on doing. You can go and find what I'm doing. I'm not going to tell you. Your ego is too high. I've been doing hundreds of thousands of years. You're telling me I make a circle first, and that's your own imagination. But something else out there making them do that. You saw the complex mathematical formula. And bees are doing it so perfectly okay for hundreds of thousands of years, madam. In ancient time, during the Egyptian time, they were there. And we got still honey, never say thank you to them. Watch. See how they make. There's a queen bee. One fella, they all protect the queen bee. That's one queen because so many babies, and they'll take the baby and put it in the compartment and feed them honey. That's the food. How they know workers bee, all kind of stuff. They're so perfectly, they all follow some rules. You know? Look at it. That's where the honeybees are. The mother is, and man will break it, put fire, call bomba, spray all the all kind of stuff and kill them. It's not fair. Won't tell them to go, they walk away. And leave them, they won't bite you. They're just surviving, that's all. They have no intention, they have no more jungle, madam. They come to your house for protection. But you call bomba. Oh, yeah, nobody. So that they have somebody, some man will protect me in my house. You won't call bomba or what. You call bomba, you spray all of things. You see, the honeybees are very, very harmless people. It's not the hornet. You know the hornet? Those guys will bite you. But these guys won't. They just come honey and they just go. And one day they just go away somewhere else. They just walk away to another place. That's all. There's no more flowers there. You know? Look at this guy.
It is the product of one of the most intelligent and industrious of creatures, whose miniature society is one of the most sophisticated in the animal kingdom. It's been used in religious and pagan celebrations, and its medicinal qualities have been known for centuries. It all begins in a field where worker honeybees suck nectar from flower blossoms, such as clover. They store it in their honey sac, then return to the hive where other worker bees suck it out and chew it, breaking down the nectar's complex sugars into two simple sugars called glucose and fructose.
That's all.
The bees then deposit the nectar into the cells of the wax honeycombs they've built. They fan it with their wings until most of the water content evaporates in the warm air of the beehive. What's left is thick and gooey honey. The bees then cap each honey-filled cell with beeswax. That's when the beekeeper steps in. Bees will sting if taken by surprise, so the beekeeper sprays the hive with smoke from burning pine needles, a scented warning that foreigners are about to enter the hive. Inside the hive are wooden frames hanging side by side, each holding a honeycomb. A hive can house hundreds of thousands of bees, all descendants of the prolific queen bee. The queen bee lays up to 2,000 eggs per day, creating the workforce needed to feed and protect the colony. But the beekeeper tricks the colony's defenders. He replaces the hive's cover with a device called a bee escape, which smells like cherries. Bees dislike the scent, so most fly to the bottom sections of the hive. Another warning spray, and the beekeeper removes the bee escape. Now, he can escape with the honeycombs. Inside the honey factory, they put the honeycomb frames on what's called an uncapping machine. Like a razor, it shaves off the wax caps of the honey-filled cells of the combs. They scrape off the remains manually. Then they set the frames on another machine called a honey extractor. It spins the honeycombs until all the honey is forced out of the cells. Afterwards, they filter the honey to remove any pieces of wax that have slipped through. Then the honey is ready for bottling. Some beehives contain smaller frames designed to produce honey that isn't extracted from the honeycomb. Workers remove the frame and cut the honeycomb into pieces with a heated knife. This seals the wax around the honey inside. This wax is edible. The beeswax lining of the honeycomb goes to make candles, furniture polish and lipsticks. When producers have more liquid honey than they can sell, they simply let it granulate, where it develops sugar crystals that turn hard and white. Then when orders come in, they return it to its original liquid form by heating it to 130 degrees Fahrenheit. The jars are vacuum cleaned, then filled. One beehive can yield over 3 kilograms of honey in a single day. That's much more than the bees need for themselves. The surplus is what we end up eating. Honey production today is both efficient and humane. For centuries, the only way to harvest honey from hives had been to kill the bees. Then in 1851, an American beekeeper invented a way to get the honey, yet spare the bees. His method, with the removable honeycomb frames, is the one we still use today.
Guys, remember, one thing remember, when you eat honey, a lot of fructose. Your body cannot digest fructose, it's a glucose. And don't make a mistake by taking, you have tea with honey, right? And you put too much of honey to taste the sugar, you cannot taste it. Because glucose cannot be tasted in the mouth, sugar can. So the fructose will join with the fat in your body and become triglycerides. That's bad for the blood system and your heart. The triglycerides, fructose, be careful. So the same fructose is also in fruits. Your mango or sugar. When you are eating carbohydrate, rice, it's just carbohydrate. That becomes glucose only. Fruits and honey, what fructose. The animals can digest them, but you cannot digest them. That you must understand very well. Okay? Now watch this one. You can take the honey from this one, no problem. You harvest it. See where they hide themselves.
So we are in above 2,450 meters above from the sea level. We can say we are lucky to be have over here, and it's really an experience in our life, you know. So you know that we are almost more than 1 hour. We were just walking inside the forest, and we reached the exact place. Amazing.
And it's look like very dark actually. It's not very light. Not recently. It's put, I think.
Yeah.
The honey. I don't know exactly what to say for that. The honey which they made, it's little bit dark, not light. It's not recently.
Yes.
I think it's long back.
Yeah.
It's creating there. And here also you can see there is a lot of place we can see the honey over this.
Honey. Only they put smoke, so somebody put fire.
Yeah, Doko again came down. Now they are going to take another honey. Yeah, ha means stop. Yeah, stop. That means they are going to stop. Now they are planning to cut.
Got everything. There is nothing for you.
it's a colloquial language in between them. They are able to understand what exactly they are saying and all. Because it's very it's a really tough task to take this honey, and it's a I don't know, because it's a really very fantastic thing what they are doing. And even we are scared when they are standing without any kind of safety things and all.
So inside, without any safety measures, they are there, and their language, for them, that is only the safety for them.
Yeah.
How to do the work.
In Malaysia, they call pokok tuala. It's black in color. That's how they take. They kill everything. They put fire and burn somewhere. At night, they go at night. The bees can they put real fire. They burn them up and they cut, take everything. So where will the bee go? So how will nature be happy with you? Nature of the trees and all. So they don't like you to go. So it's very sad. So please be careful. You can buy the honey that comes from the farm. That's fine. They don't kill. Here they really kill things. You look at how the birds make the nest. Why? All this, who teaches them? Who teaches them to make these things? They got no hands. They got to go and pick up the leaf and fly all the way and start stitching all of these things. Who teaches them? Look at how beautiful they make. Look at the mouth. Go and you got to stitch, and you got to make a little partition so you can sit on top of the things. Like a partition. Look at the woodpecker. You make a hole. So the tree is allowing you to make the hole. Sometimes you got more than one hole. Yesterday we saw a big table somewhere. There was a hole there. I said this could be a woodpecker's hole. Where was it? Big table. Where was it? There. There's a big hole down there. There's a big table. And what's the table you see? The big hole is center. Like that. So look at how the hole. So the tree is accommodating. He's letting you go. They all live in harmony. Peace, loving. Maybe she's so very happy to allow her to be home for these woodpeckers. Taylor bird. Two legs stitched together. Remember guys, the tree, the leaves will get old and fall down. So you must find a proper leaf to last 2 months or 1 month. Babies are there now. Sometimes they both work together, sometimes they both there. Sometimes one only. Open my hand. Three eggs there, no, 3 babies there. She must find the right leaf, the right tree, stitch it, rain will come, get wet, she'll go and hide them. Lots of things, you know. 25. She must find the worms and come back and feed all 3 of them. I'm going to work, my friends. Who teaches them to make this beautiful stitching? Like they must fly. They must fly now. Who knows how to fly? The first flight they take in the winter. Cats are waiting outside. All the cats, snakes are waiting to eat them. Must clean the place. Hygiene. Throw all the shit off. Eggshell away. The best part, life goes on. They don't go to school to learn this. The kids have to find their life, find the food, what to eat, and start the nest all over again. And this nest doesn't last for long, the leaves will fall down. That's why sometimes in your home, you got a garden, you can find a small nest. Take care of them. It's not easy for them to make a house and put the eggs, and start all over again. She got hibernate. And she don't eat during that time. You know the chicken in the house you have, it hibernates, it doesn't eat anything. No one teaches them anything. Go sit down. You know, then they come eat for when go sit down for 22 days before the baby comes on, and then she finds food for herself. You know, the mankind you feed them, but the real world, the jungle world, you're going to find them ants and worms and all they have to find. So the whole kingdom is surviving on their own. And if there's no worm farm, they don't pick up the worm and come better. Remember that, watch how nature beings show them the path and how they teach them. How many of you know how to sew a button? How many men know how to sew a button? Not button. So look at them like they're not doing from the leaves. But to make the hole, put it aside and pull and tighten to bring it close together. A lot of work, my friend, a lot of work. In fact, you go down some of the trees and you can't find it. You know the red ants, the musude, the karanga. With 2 leaves, they can make a whole house. How is it possible? Ants. They have no beak, they have the way to slowly push, and then slowly they just put all the glue, like glue things, you know. Not easy. Right.
African weaver birds build some of the most intricately designed and well-made nests of all birds. A group of graduate students at Witwatersrand University in Johannesburg was given 2 weeks to try to make a nest.
The same birds are also in Malaysia.
They
The
failed.
same birds are also in Indonesia. This is in Africa.
Weaver
Where they
birds
come
build their
from.
nests at the end of thin branches to make it harder for
You
tree
start-
climbing snakes to eat their eggs or babies. Usually the process starts by the male removing last year's nest from a branch. He's got one side loose, now for the other side.
Throw away all the old nests first. Start new.
Next he
Reuse.
begins collecting building materials by tearing off thin strips of grass, which he weaves to make a strong, well-anchored nest.
How they start. That's the starting point. Start.
The males do all the work.
Ah, man, very good. Never got no males.
As they work,
Finally.
over the next several days, the male collects grass and works from dawn to dusk, weaving it into the nest.
Now they have to eat at the same time. Must escape from all the poachers, from other birds eating them, eagles, all that have to happen, no? Not easy. We'll go ahead now, huh? You'll watch on YouTube. Otherwise, gonna finish. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Under the ocean, how they're so colorful they are, how they survive. They go through tsunami, waves, everything they go through, the current and all. Food has to come, show them how to swim, how they all live, lots of things. The sea creatures are very, very colorful, especially the shore area, very colorful, because a lot of minerals are there in the ocean. And all make different colors for themselves. To differentiate and to make that this is my colony, your colony, all are different. So they have to find their own way. Where it's coming from? How the other fish differentiate itself from the other fish. Exactly. And look at the ant. Termite. How high they build. Lucky Indian club was not in Africa, they make all temples, you know. Seriously, they make temples. Africa is so high, higher than a man. Now, listen to me. This termite gang, they must have air to go inside. And the carbon, and there's no sunlight, all are blind. How they work blindly. Again, that's what we call it the queen bee. Just now she was giving 2,000 eggs a day. Let's see how much this will give. One fellow.
Let's go inside one of the most remarkable, most fascinating, and well, most disgusting places on Earth. And we mean that in the best sense of the word. Let's go inside a termite nest, a factory ventilated by air shafts, where termites produce more termites. We're in the queen's chamber, the heart of the nest. Imagine you're the queen. You're attended by millions of sterile worker termites who live to feed you, groom you, and carry your eggs away when you lay them. You aren't acting helpless because you think you need royal treatment. You are helpless. See, a termite queen's head is nearly as small as the rest of the termites in the colony. But she's rendered immobile by her 4-inch throbbing, pulsating egg machine of an
Egg
abdomen.
machine.
How many eggs can this body produce? Take a guess.
Yes.
Would you say hundreds a day? Maybe, I don't know, 1,000? A high-performance queen like this one can produce, well, let's do the math. 30,000 eggs in one day, times 365 days a year. That's 10,950,000
Who wants to
eggs,
go on a queen next lifetime?
times 500 years of life of the queen. This body will crank out 164,250,000 eggs in her lifetime. No wonder she needs so many attendants. It's one of their jobs to carry all those eggs to cells where they hatch into fragile nymphs. These nymphs will grow up to be more workers whose job it is to continually build and repair the nest, supply it with food and water, and care for the queen. In this termite factory, the Royal Assembly line never shuts down.
Can you imagine? Now, there's another ant I saw in South Africa, in South America. These ants were carrying leaves. They were carrying leaves and going. So I told them, hey, you know what it is? They look at me, they don't know what it was. I knew it. And I watched all of this in many years ago, I know. I told them they're taking the leaf to go down and feed the fungus. And the fungus make milk for them to eat. So this ant have got their own farm, fungus farm. Not eat the leaves. They'll feed the fungus, and the fungus will start giving milk, and they eat those milk for their food. Very interesting animals. And the South Africa didn't even know that. It was right in front of the house. They're carrying all the leaves and going. You're going to bring it under the ground. All vegetarians. They got them cows. They got cows inside. They feed the cows. They get the milk, and they feed all the babies. And the big colony, they're going to keep on taking leaves and leaves and leaves.
In the very heart of the fortress lives the queen.
You know, in your home, you may have an ant colony or rambutan. You break it, all are carrying the white color thing. What are those? Eggs. They're carrying the egg and finding a place to go and start a life. Where do I know? My whole home is broken now. They all have their own duty. They all carry one egg to go around and make a new house. Because you broke the house. It can be in a cupboard, can be in the kitchen, can be anywhere. A colony that lives on that. And the other very important thing is the other one. But what is the other one? Those are one. They do that. So learning new technique to finding good things that you want to do. Look at this one.
These dolphins work out the fish out of water. Much easier to catch.
Very interesting. It's not easy to catch fish though. Also, they're also very fast, see what they do. See what they make. See what they make.
By beating their tail down hard, this bottlenose dolphin stirs up the seabed. And by swimming in a circle, she creates a ring of mushrooming mud around a shoal of fish. The fishing net.
Watch.
Made of mud.
All the friends coming up.
As the net pulls tighter and tighter, the fish are trapped. Until there's only one way out. Straight into the mouths of the waiting dolphins.
Jump on, fight. Who teach them? It's not easy to catch a fish small. They are zoom. They have to survive. So they have so some that we did a lot of them, less dolphin. It's by nature. The amount of food is there, they also there. So we all live together in harmony. This nature may give some, you give some. We teach you how to catch fish. Who teach them? Look at this one.
Hunting is only possible for 3 hours around low tide, when the mud banks are exposed. Razor-sharp oysters cover much of the shore. Beach Reaching here could be lethal.
Cut themselves.
The hunters need to find a stretch of shoreline with just the right slope. Too level, and the dolphins risk stranding. Too steep, and they can't force their prey from the water. Working as a team, the dolphins surround the fish, driving them towards the shore.
All ready for the food. They know the dolphins are coming.
Attacking in perfect synchrony, the dolphins create a bow wave. It carries their prey onto the muddy banks. Other fish eaters profit from their daring. Herons and gulls follow every hunt. To get to the fish first, the dolphins drive themselves high up the bank. But if they go too far, they risk stranding. To prevent fish escaping between them, the dolphins all beach themselves on the same side. Always the right.
Always the right side only.
But this has a cost. Each time they grab a fish, they also take in a mouthful of mud. The grit gradually wears down their teeth. But on one side only. In time, these teeth get so worn down that older dolphins can no longer hunt like this and must find other ways to catch fish.
Who teach them to hunt like this? Something there, the divine plan. They have to survive. A lot of small fish, but very few dolphins. They have to survive. Now you see they all on one side, and the teeth will all get worn out, and they cannot just technique anymore. So a lot of things happen in nature, but we don't see them. The white people have spent so much of time finding this and sharing with everybody. How seeds are spread, So by wind, by animal eating them, by water, by explosion, and so human planting them, all part how the seeds will move. Look at this. Will burst and it will spread all over the place. You want to talk about animals first, fall down and go. It's designed in such a way like a parachute. You understand? Tip is something like a thing like a
cannot move from where they grow. They are rooted to the soil. Still, we see one kind of plant in many different places. These are not cultivated plants, but wild ones. This is because seeds of these plants get scattered or carried over long distances through various means. This is known as seed dispersal. Dispersal of seeds gives all the seedlings a fair chance to grow well. Agents of dispersal. The various means through which seeds are dispersed are wind, water, animals, and explosion of the fruit itself. These are called agents of dispersal. Let's learn more about each of them. Wind. Seeds that are dispersed by wind are small, light, and hairy. For example, cotton seeds and dandelion. The hair enables them to fly. The seeds of drumstick and madhumalti have thin, papery wings. These help them to float in the air. Water. Plants like coconut, water lily, and lotus that grow near and in water bodies disperse their seeds through water. The fruits of lotus and water lily have small hollow spaces, thus enabling them to float on water. Coconuts have a fibrous covering. Those that are immersed in water after ceremonies and the ripe ones which fall naturally into water are carried to far off lands. Animals. Fleshy and juicy fruits like mango, guava, watermelon, and papaya are eaten by us and some other animals. The seeds are just thrown away. Birds eat the fruits of banyan, fig, and peepal plants. They swallow the seeds along with the fruits. These seeds come out with the bird droppings.
Now who teaches them all? The plants. The plants attracting you to come. The color becomes yellow, becomes red. Come and eat me now. Gold and then far. That's how. So who teaches the plant to do all of these things? That's the beauty of nature beings. Every plant has its own way of doing it. Every plant. Yeah. animal migration. Who tell them what to do? To escape Mother Nature's harsh nature weather. Animal migrates to via land, water, and also by air. Only to find water and food. They have to survive. They fly non-stop, no breaks, fly all the way. It's enough energy to fly.
The amazing Arctic tern. It was long believed that Arctic terns flew about 22,000 miles, or 35,200 kilometers, on their journey from the Arctic region to Antarctica and back. Recent studies, however, revealed that the birds actually fly much farther. Tiny instruments called geolocators were attached to a number of birds. About the weight of a paperclip, these amazing devices revealed that some terns flew an average of 56,000 miles, or 90,000 kilometers, on the round trip, the longest animal migration known.
Why?
One bird flew nearly 60,000 miles, or 96,000 kilometers. Why the revised estimates? No matter where they began their migration, the Arctic terns flew an indirect route. As shown in the illustration, a common Atlantic Ocean route took an S-shape. The reason? The birds simply take advantage of prevailing wind systems.
The wind system, they must understand that. Who teaches them?
During their lifetime of about 30 years, terns may travel well over 1.5 million miles, or 2.4 million kilometers. That is equal to 3 or 4 round trips to the moon. This is a mind-boggling achievement for a bird of just over 100 grams, or 3.5 ounces, said a researcher. What is more, because Arctic terns experience the summers at both poles, they see more daylight each year than any other creature, states the book, Life on Earth, A Natural History.
Imagine these birds are flying from the Arctic to the Antarctic. It's a long journey. It's a very, very long journey.
It's a breath.
Wow.
Wow. You all stay awake first, then you start.
Movie break time, sir.
5 minutes break time. Murku break time. The nature beings. There are nature beings on 7 continents right now with us.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They come all the way. 7 continents. Hey, you're listening or not now? All Murku only. You're mine. Murku, hey, Murku.
Movie time, sir. Movie break time. One day I can go.
Hey, Mr. Bao, what are you doing?
You are coming here, right?
Right now.
No, one day I was trying to show. It's like, I know. My totally out.
Okay, guys, because some of them are leaving today after lunch. You all have the butterflies here with you? You have the butterflies? You have the butterflies. Those guys get it. Being from 7 continents come here today. 7, you know what 7 continents? Anyone want to name one continent? Asia, Australasia. Put New Zealand there. Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Arctica. So 7 continents. So nature will come here from 7 continents. To come. Because we are not only accepting them, we're only showing of whatever they have done to keep out. Now these birds are flying 60,000 kilometers from the Arctic to the Antarctic. It's not a joke. Even a plane cannot fly that easily. They have to stop and refuel and go again. There's only one flight. They will fly from Singapore to New York. So which company is that? Huh? There's only one flight. There's only one flight. Listen. There's only one flight that flies from Singapore to New York non-stop. 18 hours. Singapore Airlines. Only business class. Not private. There are people who cannot afford to spend time waste. 18 hours business class. They fly, boom, they get down. Yes. There are people who can afford it. It's nothing for some people. It's a big company people own. There's some companies are so rich they can just take a jet plane and fly. And still they have to stop. This plane was specially made by Singapore Airlines to fly from Singapore to New York non-stop. No other airlines can do that. You have to stop in Dubai, or stop in KLM, or Europe, and refuel and go. Waiting hours can be 2 hours or 15 hours. Sometimes when I go to South America, I'm staying in the KLM airport for 15 hours before I take the next flight. Not easier, 15 hours. You fly 11 o'clock here, you get up there, arrive at 6 o'clock in the morning, 15 hours before you fly again at night. It's not easy to travel the world. So imagine these birds are flying 60,000 kilometers. And how many of you know that? Today you know. It's not easy, they cannot stop somewhere. Okay, we stop in East Island for one day and then go again. We stop in Africa. No, they have to fly. You know how much energy is there to fly? They must understand the wind flow and when exactly to fly. Do they have a radar in their mind? Even the plane, Roger, we are now flying, can I fly? Oh, wind coming, bomb waiting, don't go through. Ukraine, they say like go boom, 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 they say basically. We get all of this information and tell all the airlines people. It's not that easy, my friend. There's one lady who is PVH. She works in the Mumbai airport. 900 flights a day. When someone take medical leave, they have to wear pampers and sit down. They can't even go to the toilet. Mumbai airport. You know, And she was PVH. She always told us, sir, please help me, sir. I cannot take it. I'm a married woman. I got to go back home. I cannot work overnight, all kinds of stuff. Because 24 hours the planes were working. And she started doing divine fire for her job. And she got transferred. What's the best part? 1 flight a day. Belgium. Belgium. Sometimes 2 flights, some politician coming, that's all. Otherwise, just 1 flight a day, Belgium. And she's so happy, she got a child now, husband got transferred there, so they're both working at airport. See how life can change. Understand, my friends? Because they get the same salary. But they work in Mumbai airport, where they get the same salary, madam. Exactly, so you understand. So see how the migration happened for some animals who fly over the many, many years. They fly. They have to know how much of fat they must carry, they must eat, and get ready when to fly. The wind can change. Who give them all these answers? Who make them the plan? Which is the line to travel? Now when you look at a map of the world, the world globe, you've got lines like that, latitude, longitude. You make this long, but they have another system that they travel accordingly. Let's appreciate what the nature will do for all the world. Now this is before they fly.
It's a breathtaking sight. Hundreds of thousands of birds swirl into formations against the crispy autumn sky, and it attracts quite a crowd. Every year in autumn, migrating starlings gather in the marshes of the Wadensee National Park in Denmark, looking for rest and food on their way south for the winter. It's when they attempt to land that they perform the balletic shaping that blocks the view of the sky, leading to its rather appropriate nickname.
Black Sun is the biggest Danish nature event. It is when the starlings are going down in the vegetation to sleep and they'll be attacked by the hawk and they make marvelous formations.
From the end of September to the beginning of October, up to 1 million birds can be seen landing in a chosen spot at sunset. And so majestic and alluring is the sight that around 100,000 visitors come to witness the spectacle each year. And they all seem to have the same response.
The typical reaction is that this is really wonderful. Oh wow, I hear so many wows.
Wow. This is the Namib Desert in southwest Africa. Namib means vast. It's 1,600 kilometers long, 50,000 kilometers square. The Namib is the oldest desert on Earth. It's the harshest place in the world for elephants to live.
The Malaysian animals are very lucky.
And 25 years ago, out of a herd of 80 desert elephants, poachers killed all but 3.
Poachers killed them for that truck.
Now large-scale poaching has ended. The herd is recovering. And 2 young calves have just been born. Their first 6 months will be critical as each calf learns the secrets of survival among the Syrian sands.
See, my friend, how hardship can be in many parts of the world. The animals in Asia are very lucky, you know. You got owners bathing them, feeding them. Temples of elephants, isn't it? Look at these guys. They get killed. In India, they make them God's pets. So they don't go, yeah, see, elephant they can pray. Yes or no? Africa, wow, what can be cut and said. There's one house I went to India. This guy is a Marathi. You know, his whole room was full of ivory. Tables, chairs, all. He was so proud to make me go and sit inside. And I told him in my mind, I'm not coming here anymore. There was an empty land in the house beside him. For 30 years, no one occupied. I told him there are 340 souls there. He said, no, nonsense. I pray a lot. Nothing. The owners couldn't use the land. I elevated the souls. In 2 weeks, the owner came to a big building there. The souls were living there. He was shocked. And then he realized what I was doing in this world. You know, and he called a journalist to come and take a video of me and talk. He came on the Hindu many years ago, about 10 years ago I went there. He came on the article Hindu and this man came and did it. Like that. You must understand, a lot of nature beings out there. And nature beings don't like the human soul. You're supposed to go when you die, not hang around and mess things and put all the negativity in all of these places. In haunted houses, haunted trees. You should go. Why are you still hanging around here? Indian people do all the puja, call them to come every year. Why? It's the whole trouble that we are doing. We are doing something wrong to Mother Nature. Your soul is to go and come back and reborn according to the karma that you're going through. Look.
Every single year, billions of animals, large and small, take on epic journeys via water, air, and land. Whether to mate, search for food, or move to a warmer climate, these journeys are often fraught with danger, but are ultimately rewarding. We'll show you that animals go to extraordinary lengths to ensure the survival of their species, and stay tuned to number 1 to find out which animal gives up its own life in the process. Number 10, monarch butterflies. Yes, I said butterflies. Each year, millions of butterflies travel south for the winter. The only insect migration of its kind sees these creatures cover large distances as they search for a more temperate climate. Flying from the Rocky Mountains in the USA and Canada, they travel south to Mexico. And strangely, if they're from the eastern states of the US, they travel west to Pacific Grove, California, a journey of around 2,500 miles. When they arrive, exhausted, they look for trees to hibernate in. In Mexico, they choose the Oyamel fir trees, covering them completely in a blanket of bright orange butterflies. And in California, they choose eucalyptus trees. Traveling around 50 to 100 miles a day, flying at speeds of 15 to 20 miles per hour. These butterflies use thermal air currents to help them along, as it can take them 2 months to finally reach their destination. But that's not the end of it either, because they travel all the way back to whence they came once winter is over. Number 9, the sardine run. Moving from the air down to the sea, the sardine run is a huge gathering of, believe it or not, sardines, or actually southern African pilchards. These fish gather in the billions to spawn in the cooler waters of the Agulhas Bank before moving north along the coast of South Africa towards Mozambique and eventually heading out to the Indian Ocean. With shoals that are often more than 4 miles long, 1 mile wide, and 1,000 foot deep, this gathering itself acts as a draw for other, smaller migrations of large ocean hunters on the lookout for a good meal, creating feeding frenzies wherever these small fish go. Predators such as sharks, dolphins, and humpback whales all zero in on the billions of fish from below, while birds, such as the Cape Gannets, attack from above. But these fish gather in such vast numbers that the predators can't get them all. And so, spawning in this massive way helps ensure the future of the species. Number 8, green sea turtles. Staying in the salty blue, but this time following thousands of endangered green sea turtles, as each year the female turtles return to the beaches that they were hatched on. For some, this means returning to Costa Rica's Tortuguero National Park. For others, it's the remote islands along the Great Barrier Reef. Regardless of where they are heading, they will all travel great distances through the dangerous open ocean to locate the very beaches that they swam into the oceans from when they hatched. They haul themselves up onto the beach, find a suitable location, dig a hole, and then lay up to 100 eggs before burying them safely away and then slipping back into the ocean. Again, in doing this, they are putting themselves at risk because just like with the sardines, their predators also know this event, and female turtles are often met by the ragged teeth of sharks. But so long as their eggs are safe, it's all worth it once they hatch. Number 7, wildebeest. Driven by the need to eat, up to 1.5 million wildebeest follow the rains across Africa each year. I'll wait for you to finish singing that Toto song in your head. Or was it Ninja's Sex Party? Anyway, they are often joined in this endeavor by thousands of zebra and numerous other herds of grazing animals. They arrive shortly after the rains fall on the southern Serengeti in November and December, feeding on the fresh green grass. They will stay in this location until around March. But keep in mind that most of the females have calves in February, drawing a lot of attention from lionesses, leopards, and cheetahs on the plains. As their newborns gain strength and the grasses begin to die off, the herds start their journey north in April and May. By June, the animals start to hit some dangerous parts of their journey. The Grumeti River, while at this time of year is mainly pools, it only slows the progress of the herds and is another area where predators will lay in wait. By September, as they continue to travel even further north, they hit the Mara River, causing them serious problems. The young face the risk of being dragged away in the swollen river by currents and then drowning. And there are also hundreds of crocodiles waiting for an easy meal. Those that make it through the waters then begin their journey back south to the southern plains of the Serengeti National Park, and the whole cycle starts again every year. Number 6. Red crabs. Christmas Island in the Indian Ocean is an island covered by rainforest and is home to more than 50 million bright red palm-sized land crabs. Driven by the need to breed, the small burrowing creatures set out at the beginning of the wet season, October through November, on a synchronized island-wide mass migration to breed and release their eggs into the sea. The rains give them damp soils, and the overcast sky gives them protection from the sun on their long and difficult journey. This is important because if at any stage they're caught up in the open sun for too long, it will dry them up and they'll die. It's thought that the timing of the migration may be linked to the phases of the moon because high and low tides at this time of year do not differ too much, making it safer for the females to enter the water and release their precious eggs. The main migration can last up to 18 days as these small crabs scale cliffs, forests, and risk being run over as they pour across the roads in order to follow the routes that they use each year on both the outward and homeward legs of their impressive journey. As for the billions of eggs laid each year, well, they hatch almost immediately and spend around a month in the ocean before returning to the shore to begin their lives on the island, creating their very own migration of tiny baby crabs. Number 5. Flamingos. These iconic looking birds are probably more surprising than you knew. Living in an extremely toxic, highly alkaline water, they survive by eating blue-green algae, which is a plant that produces cyanide. While the levels of this plant that they consume would kill most other animals, or seriously damage their internal organs, the only side effect it has on flamingos is that famous pink hue. With few other animals able to cope with these conditions, the flamingos have very little competition for food. They gather in huge flocks wherever the food is most abundant, and these flocks can be millions strong. The vast flocks synchronize their breeding, which gives the offspring the best chance of survival. It is this synchronized nesting that draws millions of birds to the same locations each year. As from April to June, they arrive to nest at Lake Natron in Tanzania from the Rift Valley lakes of East Africa, where they can be seen performing synchronized mating dances. And once the babies are ready, the mass migration happens again, back to the lakes they came from. Number 4. Fruit bats. In Zambia, one of the world's largest yet least known mammal migrations occurs each year. From October to December, upwards of 10 million straw-colored fruit bats descend onto a small patch of forest in the Kasanka National Park. They're here to gorge on the abundance of fruit hanging from the trees. Each night, these hungry creatures can consume up to twice their body weight in fruit, and, crazy enough, this makes them responsible for up to 60% of the seed dispersal for Africa's rainforest trees. Though these bats gather here each year in the millions, little is known about their life away from this bewildering spectacle. They are thought to travel thousands of miles just to get here, and some have been tracked over 1,000 miles to the Democratic Republic of Congo. But it is believed that this may not be the final destination, and that these animals may fly even further afield, making this mass gathering all the more spectacular. Number 3. Emperor penguins. Every March, up to 400,000 penguins begin their pilgrimage inland. Compared to some other bird species, the 100 or so miles that they cover may sound like nothing, but remember, these birds can't fly. They must walk or slide the entire distance on feet designed for swimming. To make this journey more impressive, they are not able to take the same route each year because of the shifting natures of the ice, constantly blocking their way. And so each year, these birds take a new route, ending up at the same breeding grounds they always use. Once they arrive, the females lay their eggs and then head back the 100 miles or so to the ocean, leaving the males to hatch the chick and protect it through the extreme weather of the Antarctic winter, where they gather together in massive huddles for warmth. Once the females return, the starving males finally head back to sea, and the female will feed the chick. Then the pair will take turns in traveling the large and difficult distance to and from the sea for around 5 months, until the chick is able to enter the water and feed for itself.
Crazy nature beings.
Number 2, caribou. The migration of the porcupine caribou of North America takes place each year as a herd of over 170,000 animals migrate from Alaska and the Yukon towards their calving grounds at the Brooks Mountain Range. Their migration can take them on a journey of over 800 miles as they look for somewhere safe to raise their offspring. Traveling in such huge numbers makes it hard for their hunters, such as wolves, to pick them off, ensuring that they can breed safely and continue this journey year after year. Number 1, salmon. Surely one of nature's best known and loved migratory spectacles is the salmon run. Each year, in the autumn months, millions of Pacific and Atlantic salmon return to the waters of their birth to spawn a new generation. The run is exhausting and can sometimes require traveling hundreds of miles all upstream, battling against rapids, waterfalls, bears, and the occasional fly fishing enthusiast. The salmon don't eat during this journey, and their bodies undergo a huge transformation so that they're ready to spawn when they finally reach their destination. This arduous battling ensures that only the best genes are carried through into the next generation, as the weaker individuals usually die en route. Some species like the Chinook and sockeyes travel almost 1,000 miles and climb up to 7,000 feet in altitude before they finally reach their spawning grounds. Once they reach the end of their long and difficult journey, they can finally spawn, laying billions of eggs. And even after surviving this incredible journey to perpetuate their species, most of them will die, with only a small handful surviving their journey back out to sea. Tell us about your favorite animals in the comments below. Don't forget to like.
Not easy, man. What some animals go and we eat salmon, sushi, must understand what they all go through. It's not easy. The emperor penguins are the worst. Both the mother and the father will go 100 miles and the mother will leave the eggs. And the father will keep it under the leg and stand straight. Because the egg falls down, the temperature of the ice will kill the egg. And the mothers will go in the ocean, eat food, enough food in stomach and come back and feed the kids, and the father will go. And father will eat and bring food and give the child. He goes on for 5 months. Some crazy nature beings are out there. Why can't I just go 1 kilometer? 100 miles inside. It's near lah. Why go so far? There's nobody there. It's only the Antarctic. Only the Antarctic, down under the south. No other place. So how some nature have created all of it, and they love it, they do it every year. What is life for all life forms? Remember this, huh? Man too need to find water. And man do so much things to find water. See how they find water in some countries. They're so lucky, you know, they're so lucky. So how much an elephant, how much of water the elephant needs? Look at the pig. You need 1.5 liters or 2 liters. What is that? How much the elephant needs? Where are you going to find the water from? Especially in Africa. Not easy. Huh? Life form needs, all life form needs water. Look at how this elephant is finding water. There's no grass growing at all. You know. His own. Who thought that fellow? It's not clean water, it's full of sand and mud. Not filtered water. UV light and all kind of stuff. What do you eat now? All they kill them for the tusk. Indian even do not have so much of tusk compared to African American. Almost like a desert, huh? Must see a baby how to drink, find the water to survive. Something is out there teaching them. Next time you can take a one and find out how many nature pigs are there. You show them the park. How little is water there? You know, you got people in the country called water finders. We don't in our country. In India they have. You know, the coconut will fall down. That's what it is. For coconut, two will fall down. They know how water is. Or the turtle stack straight. Fall down or stack straight. Yes. Then, what it down. It'll walk. Coconut knows where the water is. It has to grow. It's all bio-energy, it's divine and helping them to find. And the coconut cannot just grow anywhere it likes. They must have water. Nothing there. Not even a simple grass. How they will survive? How much water an animal like that needs? They have no hands, you know, no tools. Get the leg only. In India, they've made wells bored up to 300 feet and there's no water at all in India. Maybe I look at that. My God, look at that. King Philip or something. He's got a frog. He's got a frog. They found the water. Look at India. What? All waiting for water. How much that will be? Imagine. Not brush your teeth, brush your face. The worst part of no one is flushing your toilet. 4. I know. It's like 4 people in the house. All want to go to the toilet. No one to flush. How? Not easy, huh? I must learn to stay in the dog. Learn to let the dog. Biology. Not high class. Can you imagine, guys? Water is life for every living thing and also non-living things. Remember that. Like a monkey. You must learn from them, isn't it? Learn from animals how water is. You know, because there's nature brings that fellow. Maybe there's a soul there. Human soul. If man does not interfere with nature, Mother will be paradise 24/7. Remember that, huh? Man interferes with nature in many ways. There are in many islands with no interference of man at all. One such island is called as the Galapagos. You know what is the Galapagos? Where? 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 That's where they found the evolution of mankind. The theory of evolution came from the Galapagos Island. There's no man there at all. Life was going on as normal. Everybody talking about man came from here, you know, all kinds of, they're fighting it because all that was Adam and Eve. There's no Adam and Eve. There were many Adams and Eve all over the place. So this guy was the one who went down there because though the ship was traveling, he went and traveled his own island with no man. Island was growing from the volcano. Plants were growing. How the plants come there? They came with the water, they flew with the wind. The birds there. How the birds flew? Galapagos Island is here. Here. It's the Pacific Ocean. Those days to go to there, you must cross the Chile and come up. Today we got a canal. What's the name of the canal? Panama Canal. They cut, the ship can go inside. There's another canal called Suez Canal. At one point they want to cut also Thailand. They make a canal from Thailand to other part. So no ship will go to Singapore for that. Singapore is dead. You want to make a canal, you know, make a big canal, Malaysia and Thailand. So the ship can go across. Bring all the ship to Hong Kong and Japan and Korea. No, easier to flow. You know, because from India they come, because they've got to go down and up again. So it's all different. The Suez Canal is easier. Remember the ship got stuck in Suez Canal on the bigger ship, and we thought, as if all the ship went down. Like that. So just like this. Ecuador. Must know a little bit things lah, about life lah. Don't eat roti canai and mihun every day lah. Sometimes must do a little bit of work also lah. Learn. Because the more you start learning, the more it goes upstairs. When you go with the soul, it goes to the council body. When you come back, it's easy for you to understand all of these things. Look, that's all. This piece of island, no man has been there. Even today, man cannot go there. It's controlled by the Ecuador government. The special permission, why you want to go? If you go for an expedition, they allow you to go inside. But you cannot bring anything. No fruits, no paper, nothing. There are rules to follow. Okay, that's it. You must go and come back with what you have. These are the islands of the Galapagos. See how the birds have changed. The same bird have got different beaks to survive. Who made a mutation? Who made a mutation down there? How they survive the nature? This man found that it's called Charles Darwin. And the religious people hate him. He said man came from monkey. He didn't say man came from monkey. Man evolved from Homo sapiens, not a monkey. Homo sapiens. We evolved over the many years. We became smarter and smarter because something was giving to us, and now we adapt ourselves to nature in any part of the world. How did people go to Hawaii? How are they in Fiji and Tahiti? They all look different. The Maoris in New Zealand, are they all Adam and Eve children? No. Life product everywhere. You know, like that. How this what we became over the many years. It's not just 10 years, you know. Thousands of years you become like this. And then, you know, now becoming monkeys also. Go back there, become monkeys at the same time. Not exact monkeys, behave like monkeys, that's all. Like that. Look at the tree. How the whole tree of evolution happens and all animals are evolving themselves, getting smarter and smarter, getting more used to the environment and slowly getting stronger and stronger with all the trees. Now this all will go to the DNA and beyond.
Galapagos is definitely the best conserved tropical archipelago in the world. So that makes really a unique place in the world. It's not just about its beauty, it's not just about its famous touristic place, but it's mainly about Galapagos is a unique functional ecosystem.
The Galapagos National Park and the Charles Darwin Foundation invited Google to the Galapagos Islands to collect imagery for both scientific applications and management of the islands.
Surprisingly, the Galapagos has not been that well mapped in the past. There has always been satellite imagery, of course, but to now take that next step and to work with Google to provide better mapping for Galapagos is something that's very, very important for our work and much appreciated.
First time, first trekking in Galapagos, so let's see how it goes.
We usually see this kind of tortoise here, and actually these tortoises are born in captivity. They are part of the introduction program of the Galapagos National Park.
Doing research in Galapagos is a very, very tough task. So if there is some way to capture as much information as possible and then having this information collected and available for researchers, it's just great because you can minimize the costs of field work.
Invasive species have always been the biggest.
This living laboratory of evolution helped to inspire Charles Darwin and continues to offer a unique opportunity to explore a pristine natural ecosystem. The Galapagos Islands are located 620 miles, or 1,000 kilometers, from the south.
Truly?
All over Mother Earth, many such islands around, Mother nature beings around there. Man has messed up everything. Whatever man messed up everything, it's a trouble. What we all do? How's everybody? Vest, belt, shoes. Yeah, continue that. 300 was like. Wow. Okay, guys. There are 6,800 over negatives here right now. 7 continents, big in the mother, sky, everywhere. It all comes today. X all plus number. Take a butterfly. Hold in your hand. You need the plastic bag. Hold the butterfly. Take your wands. Take your butterflies. Put in your hands, please. Don't throw the plastic away. Recycle it.
Small butterfly also. So small butterfly also.
Oh, bags. Up to you. Are you ready now? Are you all ready? Are you all ready? Yes. Good. Put the green one on top of you. Hold the green one on the Ajna Chakra. The Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, higher soul, to all higher souls of people around us right now, our spiritual guides, helpers, teachers, all the native are present here today from all over the 7 continents, from the mindless to the biggest. Even the prehistoric, thank you for coming us. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining our workshop today. It's time for big rain right now. It's a blessing from all the nature beings. Thank you. I'm a being of divine fire. I am the purity God. My soul of divine fire. My soul is the pure God. Supreme God, to all the entities out here, thank you for whatever you do for Mother Earth. You make the rain, you make the wind, you carry the water all over the world, from the ocean, back in the ocean, you make the land fertile, you give all life. Thank you. To the one here right now. Hands out, please. This is a blessing for all the nature beings. For all the nature beings present, please guide us. Please teach us how to be in harmony with each and every one of you. How we can help you to make Mother Earth a happy place, a beautiful place, for all of us who live here. So looking for Mother Earth, thank you. Please make us all the instrument of knowledge and how we can share this knowledge to everyone. All the nature beings, the beings of divine fire, all the nature beings, all the purity God is. Make me an instrument of your love, your compassion, your kindness, teaching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, done.
Okay.
Okay, my friends, thank you very much. Any questions before we go for lunch?
Just lie down.
Hey,